Number one, if you have an open wound on your hand, even with stitches, let's not touch the meat. I'm Raquel, and this is What's Cooking. A long time ago, I learned the hard way the importance of packing a lunch. Tonight, I'm gonna make meatloaf, and I have the ingredients in front of me, what I'm gonna be using. I have some lean ground beef, 1 pound of it. I'm making a small meatloaf. Crumbs, breadcrumbs, an egg, some seasoning, and some cheese. We're gonna put cheese in it and roll it up and then put it in the loaf pan and pour sauce over it. And I like it because it's easy to send in a lunch. It's easy to portion out, and you can even make it into sandwiches. I sometimes have a little bit of trouble trusting people. A few years ago, I was in a craft sale, and I used to make things out of wood, things to hang on the wall when all that folk art was the rage, which isn't as much anymore. So I had a table just full of all these wooden hanging things, Christmas ornaments that I designed myself, and bigger items. And this wasn't a really well-established craft sale. So it was a bunch of people who I didn't know, and this woman came up to me, and she said, she had a table, and she said, "Would you be interested in a trade?" And I was just really interested in making money. And I looked at her table, and it was all Christmas ornaments that were made from toilet paper rolls. And some of them still had toilet paper on them. No word of a lie. Anyways, what she had picked up was a wall hanging that was $8. And I thought, okay, $8, yes, fine. And when I said $8, or when I said fine, she goes, "Oh, okay, I want this and this and this and this and this." And she ended up with over $50 worth of my stuff. And then so I didn't feel brave at the time to say, wait a minute, I thought it was only gonna be $50. So I had to pick out $50 worth of used toilet paper roll ornaments. I wish I could show you them, but I do not have them because they made me sad every time I looked at them. I know differently. I know I do try to learn from my mistakes most. I just make once. Now I would say, "Oh, I thought it was just the $8." And then I wouldn't feel bad doing that. But at the time, I just felt like I was being rude and I didn't want to be. So maybe this episode isn't about the importance of packing a lunch. It's about thinking it through. Okay, so I have a story about meatloaf. And it all started one day where I forgot to bring a lunch to work. To be honest, I don't remember why I forgot. I know I hadn't had breakfast that day, and I didn't bring a lunch. I was sitting at my desk, regretting. My stomach was already growling. I had to answer the phones. I was afraid someone would hear it when I was on the phone. And I was thinking, okay, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna have to order something in? And I think we're all on a bit of a budget, and so I didn't actually really want to do that. When in walked my savior. There was this boy who was, I believe he was in grade 9, and he had foods class, and he would come and visit me every now and then. And that day in particular, he came in, and it was funny because right while I was thinking, man, what am I gonna do? He said, Miss Valley, I have foods class today and we're making meatloaf and mashed potatoes. Did you want me to bring you some for lunch? And I said, it was like angels were singing. I said, yes, that would be amazing. I was just wondering what I was gonna do for lunch. And he said, yeah, he said, that's what we're doing, so I'll bring you some. So then it just went out of my mind. I thought, I don't even have to think about lunch. It's all good. So he comes to me at lunchtime and brings me a white takeout container, and it had a slice of meatloaf and a scoop of mashed potatoes. And he said, oh, I hope you like it. And I went into the staff room and I ate my lunch, and it was actually very good. I'm always concerned about meatloaf, like, is it cooked all the way? But it was cooked perfectly. The seasoning was great. Even the mashed potatoes were so nice and fluffy. So he came back after my lunch and he said, Miss Valley, what did you think of your lunch? I said, it was so good. A++. It was perfect. It was perfectly cooked. The seasoning was great. Fluffy mashed potatoes, so good. And he said, oh, good, because it was really hard to make. I had to mix it with my own hands, and it was really hard because of my stitches. The meat kept going under the flap of skin. And at that very moment, I thought, I should have thought this through. I should have thought this through. I didn't gag in front of him, but I must have said something like, that must have been very difficult. And ever since then, I don't eat food that students give me. I had to think it through. Okay, so I'm just gonna roll this up, and I don't know why. Ever since then, guess what I do? I wear a glove. That's my assurance of quality, that no meat has gone under a flap of skin. Okay. So there's, just gonna, see how that looks? I'm gonna put it into the pan. And I'm gonna sauce it up. I like good old-fashioned tomato soup. I'm just gonna put this on there. Okay, and I'll just put it in the oven. And there it will cook for about an hour. And it'll be good. Okay, thank you for watching. I know there's a lot of other things you could be doing, and I appreciate you spending time with me. What can we take away from this? Number one, if you have an open wound on your hand, even with stitches, let's not touch the meat. or any other of the food products. But I do want to say he was very, very sweet. Very, very sweet, and it did make a great story, I feel. If you want to hear more stories, like, subscribe, share, check us out on Facebook, What's Cooking with Raquel. please click on one of our other videos. While I'm waiting for you to do that, I'm just gonna have a little whistle.